Thursday, November the 9th, 2023, and I'm finally back out on the road. 5 weeks since my last walk, mainly due to the weather. A couple of train strikes in there as well, and when I say the weather, it's the wind that's been an issue. Can't record when it's too windy, and even today it's debatable. Got a grey day with a breeze coming from the southwest, chilly breeze unusually for the southwest, so there may be some wind interference even today. Got gusts up to 25 mph, and I know from experience that anything above 20 is usually a problem with this camera, which I still haven't updated. We'll get round to it. Once again, the stock is an issue. Anyway, we're about to undertake this figure-of-8 today from Shoreham in Kent. I'm doing the alternative walk, not the main 12.5 miler, but because we put the clocks back now, I've only got about 4 hours walking time, so we're looking at around 9.5–10 miles today. Sunny intervals are forecast. Let's see. It's around 12 noon now, so should be done before sort of sunset at 4:15ish. So fingers crossed, let's crack on. This is familiar terrain. Done many walks around here in the past, but this is an unusually new walk for me. swcwalks289. Shoreham Station, where obviously I'll be ending up later, hopefully. Almost immediately opposite the station, we come to this bridleway, where we ascend slightly uphill. Okay, at this juncture, don't take the broad path to the left, but continue up straight on effectively via the narrower footpath. And clearly what I've missed over the last 5 weeks are these autumn colours. Just about getting the tail end of them now, but I've missed the return of the birds, the arrival of others like the fieldfare, which I have noticed up my own way. Martins, swifts and swallows etc. long since gone. Yeah, I've missed a lot, just as I did in the earlier part of the year, with an absence, again due to the weather and trains, in the spring. I think this year's been the worst year for me for absences. Shocking. Now passing through a nature reserve, Frackenden Down. Yeah, some decent colours. Decent vista here to my right across the plain, just as I'm about to turn off left here through this squeeze gate with a notice telling us about ash dieback. Herd of longhorns here doing their conservation work, no doubt. I'm now on Frackenden Down. In just a minute, I haven't checked which way I've got to go. It's probably past them, knowing my luck. Nope. Continuing up between hedges here, past this Frackenden Down info board. So it's turning out quite nice. Just as well I ignored the Met Office. Thus far anyway. Okay, there was a alternative route to this route earlier, where I mentioned the bridleway going off to the left. You could have taken that for better views from the top of the hill here, and then come down this path to the point where I am now, to then go through this gate in the hedge. I didn't want to risk taking that alternative because I'm up against the daylight today. Only adds about half a mile, but I haven't walked for 5 weeks, so that's all needing to be considered right now. Cracking views from the gate. Path down is clear. Back to the A225. Further views over Otford to my left. Okay, we've now got to walk alongside the A225 with no pavement for 125 metres. Yeah, pretty dicey, even at 30 mile an hour on a Thursday lunchtime. Take this footpath outside the property called Styleways, clearly marked here, and some very early invasive species here. God knows what that is. Just as well this section's fences and not hedges, as it's no wider than a man's shoulders. Crossing over the rail line. Good timing, eh? Passing through a grazing area with the nature reserve in the distance there. Now entering Otford's solar system. Information panel here about the solar system, which I have filmed before, and these days of course you can just look on Google or any search engine of your choice to find out more. Okay, having walked across this recreation ground, you're having a couple of options in a moment. You can do a left and go through the village past the pond and church, but I have filmed that version many years ago, so I'm going to avoid that this time and do a right past the Bull pub. Passing the Bull, 15-12, so a fair age. And opposite St Bartholomew's Church, which isn't very church-like in appearance. And behind the church is the village hall. Passing the parish council building, which has an information panel here about the old parsonage and the school, which you again can search online for further information if you so wish. And the school is next door there. Passing the old pick moss. Again, Google that for further information. Very busy village this. Well, I've just been reliably informed by a local that the old pick moss is not as old as it appears. 1910 apparently. Okay, now stood by the Darent River. There's an information panel here about the pick moss and Otford mills, and my local information appears to have it wrong. Seems it was refurbished in the 50s, so I guess he was drinking. Many of the parts of it, however, are Elizabethan. Okay, so we're now on the Darent Valley Path. Passing allotments on my right. And incidentally, for the walk creator, probably Sean, I didn't notice any property called Millmead seems to have disappeared. Now it did rain down here last night and into early this morning, so this is going to be a muddy, slippy section down by the river. Good use of solar power there to power the horses' shelter. I'm guessing that's a solitary bull over there, because there's an electric fence just in front of me here, just as well. Throughout this walk thus far, the hum of the M25 is always there. Annoyingly, I think I've made that comment previously down this way. There's quite a bit of jet noise as well. Shoreham Cross just comes into view there. Google that for more information. Now passing through a tree belt alongside the golf course, which we cross shortly. Do a right here at the 17th tee sign. Passing the cricket club.
Total distance 3 miles.
3 mile in, as you can hear. Then take this concrete marker to Shoreham. Passing the cricket pitch with Shoreham Cross. That bit closer now. Opposite Shoreham Place, I'm coming off the main GPX track and following the Darent Valley Path to the local church for lunch. I've had lunch here previously. We're not that far into the walk, but it's coming up 2 o'clock, so it's about time. Lovely double church here. Rather amusing character there. Not sure what's closed, but there you go. So coming up 2 o'clock, there is an inscription on this seat, but I can't read it. The wood is too badly eroded. Nice position at the back of the churchyard. Let's get tucked in. Just the 3.6 miles undertaken thus far, so just over a third of the way through the walk, which is pretty poor travelling, but I always anticipated that after my absence. It's carrying the pack that does it, I think. Don't usually carry that on my local ones, obviously. Okay, 2:30, lunch has been had, time to press on. Very good.
Got cold all of a sudden.
As you can hear in the background, there are other people in here, so I'll keep stum. Wonderful. There's the old organ. Some rood screen. Look at that ceiling. This is the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul, Shoreham. Very open church, as many of them have to adapt to survive. Children's play areas, etc., kitchens, toilets, and so forth, as I've previously commented. Elizabeth Rutter, clearly one of the local bigwigs back in the day, to have got a position within inside the church. 1790, or in her case 1741, just 36 years old. Exiting via this lovely avenue of yews, and the lich gate that I've filmed on many an occasion in the past. Passing the Samuel Palmer pub. Quite a torrent there. The Darent flowing through the weir. I'm not going into the village, choosing to continue ahead on the Darent Valley Path. Would have been possible to stop here for lunch, but I forgot about this. And in any case, it's my want to luncheon at the local church where possible. Walking over the River Darent with its riverside properties. Now come out into open countryside, as the sun seems to have disappeared worryingly. Parakeets are down here. I'm glad to read that the sparrowhawks, I think it is, are preying on them. Good to hear that they've got a predator. Keep their numbers down. And the heavens have just opened. A few spots of rain. And there's the rainbow. So we've had the Northern Lights this week, which I missed, down south, and this lovely rainbow. Can't beat Mother Nature, can you? Very clear. I'm almost underneath it. Beautiful. Passing Castle Farm with its hop shop. Now entering Lullingstone Country Park. So as you can see, a big picnic area here. I've now left the Darent Valley Path, which is the longer version of this walk today. History here of Lullingstone, which you can Google online. A bit about chalk and trees. Interesting seat there for John and Barbara Clapson. Nice one. Halfway up this incline. Pretty good vista backwards, whence I've just come. Glorious afternoon now, the rain stopped. Final view as I'm about to enter lower beech and wood. Plenty of art, sculptures as I enter the wood. Parakeets everywhere, mainly because this is a beech wood, and if I recall, they survive on beech nuts during the winter. But it's like being in an aviary here. Not a great fan of them, as you know. Invasive species. And there is one of said invaders. Past tense. On a beech tree as well. Do like walking in a wood at dusk or just before it. Sunset's an hour hence, so I need to get my skates on. So at this juncture I do believe we take footpath 206 through that gate yonder, and that is some contraption. The step ladder is about 7 foot tall. And at this point the M25 is at its loudest, because this is as close as we get to it, and ahead of me I join a feeder lane to it. First oast house of the day, ironically, as I am very close to the M25. Taking a left down this lane, hopefully for not very far. Another cracking view. Now a bit of quiet lane walking towards Castle Farm Road. The Ramblers in action. Cows are still out. Surprises me because they traditionally go in end of October. Thankfully they're the other side of the fence. As we re-enter Shoreham, and earlier I went along the Darent River down that lane there, Mill Lane, so now I'm going in to the village to walk through it. An old VR letterbox here, don't see too many of these now. I still haven't seen a Charles one yet. Don't know if any have been erected. Passing the Crown pub, possible tea time stop. Doesn't look very active though. Empty car park. Interesting old vehicle there outside the old Forge cottage. Passing what appears to be the old Two Brewers pub. Then the very modern looking village hall here. Then the old Flying Teapot 1942 room, which is next to a path that I've used before. Can't remember which walkway. And then the Honey Pot tea rooms, nicely decorated for Remembrance Sunday this weekend. God rest their souls. And that was the High Street. I'm now turning down Church Street, and of course the village shop was in the High Street. Church Street will lead me eventually to the station. Passing the county primary school here, and no surprise it's outstanding, the preschool. Then passing the King's Arms, 16th century pub, also a possible tea stop. This one does look active. And there you have a record of the current opening times. Food 12 to 2:30, 2 courses, 13 quid with a glass of wine. Served 5:30 to 8. Built during the First World War. Passing the old post office there. Which isn't in the High Street, unusually. Passing the old war memorial that I passed earlier. and the Darent often floods, and following the rain we've had recently, it's in high spate at the moment. Self-explanatory. And there is the memorial, Shoreham, Kent. First World War. As usual, a great number. Weren't any left for the Second World War. Lost generation. Passing the Samuel Palmer again, so that's at least 3 pubs in the village, ahead of the church where I was earlier. Clearly someone of repute, albeit I haven't heard of him. Google it for more info. So here we are, 8 mile 45, so 8 3/4 miles, 3 hours 16. Very good walk that for a decent winter's day. I remember a lot of it, but was done in a different direction. Weather held out, nice and cool now. Short shower of rain, but nothing to complain about. It did bring that lovely rainbow. So all in all, a good return to walking. However, when the next walk occurs is anybody's guess, because the weather is so unpredictable currently. Worse than I've ever known it in the 15 years I've been doing these. So something's going on upstairs. So that's swcwalks289 Shoreham Figure-of-8 alternative version completed. Until the next time, whenever that may be, take care.